Hello, everybody. Welcome to Extra Life 2025. This is our 11th Extra Life here in Salinas, California. Here I have with me Child's Life Specialist, NinaLina. Hello, NinaLina.
Hi.
Would you do the pleasure of introducing yourself and tell us what you do with Extra Life and your local children's hospital, which is not here, actually, right?
It's not. It's not. I live in Michigan. I'm not currently in Michigan, but I do live in Michigan. I am, my full name is Carolina, um, legal given name, and I am a child life specialist. I work for Corewell Children's Hospital in Detroit, Michigan, and I am also an extra lifer, and I raise money for that local children's hospital. So
That
I'm doing both things. I'm
that
juggling.
That's right. We did get to meet earlier this year in Utah at Extra Life Unlocked, which was an amazing event where they got a whole bunch of extra lifers together and a lot of hospital staff and a lot of kids, cool too. Which it was so sweet meeting about the kids. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I wanted to know, Carlina, what exactly do you do as a child's life specialist?
So I, as a certified child life specialist, my main job is to help support kids coping in the hospital setting. So that might mean that if a kid comes to the hospital and they've broken a bone, I would, or my counterpart in this case, who works in the emergency room, she would meet them, explain to them what's going to happen, what is going to, there's people going to be taking pictures of your bones. They're going to figure out what exactly is broken. This is what's going to happen. These are the steps that are going to happen when you get an IV. This is what we're going to do to help your body feel better. Like, address their concerns, address their emotions. It's okay to be scared. Also, make sure that they have opportunities to play in the hospital. Hey, what kind of toys do you like? Do you want to color with your good hand? Like things like that. And then I work as an inpatient child life specialist. So a lot of the times, those kids would come up to the floor to wait for their surgery. So they would come up there, I meet with them, I prepare them for surgery. I prepare them for what they're going to see. I make sure that they have a comfy blanket while they're there. I make sure that the parents are taken care of and fed. I ask if there's any siblings, make sure um, that they know what's going on and that they're not super worried about their brother or sister. And this is just an example of a broken bone, but we do that with new diabetes diagnosis, a new cancer diagnosis. We do this with traumas, car accidents. We do this with appendectomies. We do this with the flu. We do this with any upper respiratory, like anything that you can think of. We have a way to kind of help kids through it and help make their hospital stay a little bit more manageable, more fun, and help support them through it. So yeah, I
It's
have the best job in the world.
No, it's really it's awesome because communicating with these kids is so important. These kids, it's usually their first time in the hospital system, and like you, it can be really scary. And having somebody like you on their side, knowing that they can one trust you, that you will communicate everything to them, that you'll make their stay as pleasant as you can. I think that that is just so invaluable. Um, how long have you been doing this for?
So this is my fifth year in child life, but I've worked at Corwell Children's for the past 3 years.
Oh, what did you do beforehand, if you mind me asking?
Um, yeah, you're fine. I completed my training at both then Helen DeVos Children's Hospital in Grand Rapids, and then I was in my practicum in Lurie Children's in Chicago, and then I was for a better part of the year, I was at Phoenix Children's in Phoenix, Arizona. I was in their ICU.
So you've been around kids for almost 10 years. It sounds like.
Well, yes, I before I got into child life, I was actually a preschool teacher. And so I was a preschool teacher, and then I also taught English to Chinese kids online for a hot minute there.
Whoa.
And then I worked as a program director for the Little Gym, which is a children's gymnastics place, so that utilizes developmentally appropriate curriculum to support kids' movement and learning. And then I went and got my master's degree and became a child life specialist.
That's incredible. That it's your whole life has been leading to taking care of kids and making sure they are happy and healthy, which is incredible.
It's something that I felt such a strong pull towards, and it's truly something I just love to do. It's I mean, how many times do you wish, like, I when I was a kid, I had to go to the hospital. They thought I had appendicitis. I didn't. I just had really bad gas. But like but it was scary. It was scary. I was 6 years old. My stomach hurt. They were like, probably needs to get surgery. They
Mm.
gave me an IV. My mom wasn't there. That was a needle poke. I was alone in the hospital overnight. I was scared. Like nobody was there to explain anything to me, and like people just said, "Oh, don't be scared.
Don't worry
Don't
about it. It's
cry.
it's it. That's
Don't
it.
worry
Like,
about it."
yeah,
Right. And then I learned about this profession, and then that my job is to literally validate kids and validate their feelings and say, it is okay. Because how many times do you go into the hospital as an adult and you're like, what in the world is happening to me? I wish
every
somebody
time,
would say something. Well,
every
I wish
single
somebody
time.
would explain what the steps are,
Hmm.
right? And I take that away from kids. I make that more manageable for kids because they are the most vulnerable. So it is it's the best. It's sometimes it's emotionally taxing because we are also there for some of the hardest parts. We also help support families when a child dies. So that is the sad part, but
Yeah.
that is also something that I feel extremely privileged to be able to support families through.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's incredible. It's I always say that if I can change one kid's life for the better in any given day, make it a little bit better. Like make just take some of the stress away. Make it even just a teeny bit better, then my day has been worth it.
I would say your days have been worth it since you've been in this career. I mean, even before this career started, it sounds like you've been doing that for 10, 15 years. So I think that that's absolutely incredible, and the amount of work and effort that you've put into these kids every single day, it can't be you can't downplay it at all. Like that, and their families for that matter too. I think that that is a big deal. So,
Yeah, it is important, and that's why that's why I kind of started doing Extra Life too, because I saw directly what the needs of the families are. I saw directly what the needs of the kids are, right? So um, I see the direct needs and the direct benefits of the funds that people raise to help the kids in the hospital. So I feel like this kind of gives me that drive and that kind of like unique perspective, being kind of in like on the inside of it a little bit.
yeah. Perfect segue. Thanks for helping me out with that. Could you tell me could you tell me
You're welcome.
and the rest of people watching the what have you seen in terms of CMN and Extra Life funds? What has how has that really helped your kids and your community?
Yeah, absolutely. So our hospital is a Children's Miracle Network hospital, and all funds that Extra Life raises go towards the local Children's Miracle Network hospital. And so for us locally, Extra Life just this past year was able to raise funds um, to get 10 new gaming systems for the kids in the hospital. So they are portable gaming systems. We got six switches and five, no, six switches and four PS5s,
Nice.
and they are on wheels. They're HIPAA compliant, which means that you can't share any personal information through them. They're safe for kids to have in their rooms, even without supervision. They have games already preloaded onto them, and they are completely disinfectable. So even the kids who are not able to leave their rooms and not able to have any outside contact, they can still play video games. So that was a huge thing
That's incredible.
that
That's
we
so
that
good.
that Extra Life did. Um, Extra Life also in the years past has supported um, like um, a proton therapy program, which is another way. Different ways to treat cancer is chemotherapy and radiation, and then proton therapy is another one.
Mm.
So Extra Life supported that. Extra Life has also supported um, MRI goggles. So if you've ever been in an MRI, it's like this big donut-shaped camera,
Very
and when
scary.
you go inside, when you go inside, it's kind of claustrophobic, and it can be scary. So, um, and there's no metal allowed. But we got MRI safe goggles, which allows kids to watch movies while they're in the MRI. So that way, there's no metal in them. I don't know how that works. That's magic, but um, but but it helps. That's a part of the kids' coping plan. Now, when I prep kids, I talk about all of the things that they will see, all of the things that they will hear, and also you get to pick out a movie, and then you can watch that movie while you get your pictures taken. So that's a huge thing that Extra Life did for us. Um, Extra Life has in the past also funded parts of Bike Day. So Bike Day is something that our local community does where they build adaptive bikes for kids
Oh.
who have different
As you can see,
abilities.
I'm a
So
bike guy, so that's awesome.
amazing. So yeah, so because not every kid can, ride a bike just like, hey, I'm going to go to the store and buy this
Very
bike. They
true.
can't they not even with training wheels, right? They need special accommodations. And what the coolest part about that is that they build the bike custom for the kid. And then every year, like as the kid grows, they keep that going. So the kid can do all the things that another kid could. Like
Yeah.
even if you don't have a leg, or even if you don't have um, the muscular strength needed to
Hmm.
ride a regular bike, or the core strength to hold yourself up, how can we still make sure that you can have that very kid experience of riding a bike, right? So
Yeah.
it's just like all of those really, really amazing, cool things.
It's incredible that you
And
guys
just,
make that
yeah,
accessible, like the accessibility of making what a kid who's not in the hospital and making that activity accessible for a kid who might be in the hospital or even again like having to go through physical therapy or something along
yeah,
those lines. So I think that
yeah.
is fantastic.
Actually, some of the kids that, like two of the kids, the twins that were there during Unlocked,
Hmm.
they are the twins from my hospital system, and
Oh.
they were never hospitalized, like directly, like I think they were in the NICU, but like I never interacted with them when they were in the hospital,
Hmm.
but they benefited from the Children's Miracle Network speech therapy program. Like,
Oh,
because
gotcha.
the Children's Miracle Network is supporting that, and they really needed support with that. And now look at how they're able to communicate, right? So, like there's,
Those kids were so
yeah,
full of life, so funny and so friendly and just full of life and loved video games and loved chatting with us, man. It was so cool.
yeah, the twins were the Minecraft kids, right?
Yes, yes. They were
Yeah, did you go there? Yeah.
Minecraft and Fortnite and yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was fun.
That was super cool. Um maybe
Yeah.
you could share some story. Are you able to share some stories with us today about what you've seen and maybe some kids you've interacted with? Obviously, no names, of course. Um
Yeah. So for example, with the video game systems that we got, so that's like a direct tie-in to oh, I've seen, oh, now, like, now I'm saying that I'm thinking three different stories. But um I had this a 7-year-old boy who at home loved playing Mario Kart, and he had a very complicated appendicitis. So that means that when he it had ruptured. So when they went in and did the appendectomy and did the surgery to take the appendix out, he also came back with drains. So drains are little tubes that pull all of the extra stuff that's not supposed to be there, all of the stuff that came from the ruptured, from the burst appendix.
Yeah.
It's kind of draining it out, and then we're also treating with IV antibiotics to help the infection leave the body. That means that for the first few days, kids are having a bad time. They are in pain. They don't really want to do much, but this kid at home had loved playing Mario Kart. So then I said, don't worry, I have Mario Kart now. So I rolled in that video game cart, and sometimes with those kids, it's not even like, because what we did too is we talked about these are the things on your body, like helping normalize that, like kind of like helping him figure out what all of it was, but then also helping them feel like a kid.
Hmm.
So what we did, we just played Mario Kart. Like we just I'm really really good at racing. I'm terrible at the balloon parts.
Yeah.
And so I beat him in racing, and then he beat me in, like during the
In the
balloon
verses,
pops.
yeah.
Yes, yeah. So we just did, and like, and the mom was like, "It's glad I'm so happy to see him laugh." Right? Because that's something that he's it's like, "Hey, somebody from the hospital took the time to go and play with this kid and not come in and poke and prod him, not
Yeah.
come in and just like do medical stuff, but this is like just like bringing that back to him." And
Hmm.
then I could leave the cart in there so he could play with his dad. You know, he could play with his mom, and he could like do that, and that helped him so much with that. And once he was felt better and the drains were able to be removed, we prepped him for removing the drains, and we did all of that. And I was there for the procedure, like collaborating with surgery to get that removed and all of that. And then I made him a Mario Kart scavenger hunt.
Hey,
So,
that's so cool.
because one of the main things that you have to do after a surgery is you have to get moving. So, it's really hard for, a kid to just, hey, get up and move, go to that door and then come back, or go to the nurse's station and come back. But if you make it a game and you make it something that he is interested in, then it doesn't feel like a chore. It doesn't feel like a task. It doesn't feel like a part of your treatment plan.
Hmm.
So I hid characters, and then the next day I hid like all the different cups, and then he went
Oh,
and he was just looking for them. Like I put the double-sided tape and I just like put them all over the place. And the first day he did just go to the nurse's station, but the next day he like went further to
further.
like towards the skywalk, and like we got him moving, and that reduced his hospital stay because when they move, things heal better. So that's just like a direct impact of, first of all, Extra Life and the equipment that we got to help support a kid's healing,
Mhm.
not just emotional healing, but also physical healing. And then also just the gaming in general, and like just being able to go into a room and connect to the kid. Like when I was able to ask him, like, hey, who's your favorite character to play? Like when you're able to like speak their language,
Yeah,
that
communicate
makes
on their level with like something that they are passionate about or something that they enjoy.
yes. Yes, exactly. I mean, I have never played Minecraft in my life, but some of the best interactions I've had lately is like a kid trying to teach me Minecraft.
Oh, that's
You
fun.
know,
Yeah.
that's something that they're excited about. That's something that they want to do. That's something that that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
So you have so little choice in the hospital anyway. So if you give some of that choice back,
Hmm.
that just makes the world of a difference.
Yeah, and they say that obviously your mood affects when you're in the hospital. Your mood affects your longevity in the hospital, right? People who are
Oh yeah.
happier usually get healthier faster. Endorphins flow, and your body interacts with that kind of chemical shift of you being happy or excited, or knowing that you're loved as well. Um,
Mhm.
and I, you can't put a price on that, which is
No.
yeah.
And it's like I have seen that it's just the happier it's also like doing something that that brings you joy, or even like just like watching videos, being distracted. Like sometimes
Hmm.
you just need to be distracted from things, and video games, or even watching people play video games. I love watching people play games on Twitch, and
Yeah.
so do the kids. um it's like that. I forget what game it was. It was a Kirby game. But that was like this kid's one thing that would help him with his port accesses. So when you have cancer, you get this device placed that is connected to your one of your main veins out of your heart.
Yeah.
It's called a port. And so like when you're that's a device through which they are able to give chemotherapy. That's one of the many central lines that we're able to place. And so what you need to do to access it is there's a needle that goes inside the port, and then it connects to like that gives port access. It gives the
Yes.
access um to the system, and then when we have to change the needle every 7 days, and then when we get a break, then we can take the needle out. Then we don't
Hmm.
need to do that. But the needle part is oftentimes very, very difficult. Even when kids know what to expect, it still really sucks. So I had this kid who would always, that was just like his entire his entire process was, okay, tape comes off. That is hard, but okay. Tape comes off, we clean, and then we put on EMLA, which is lidocaine cream,
Hmm.
to help numb the pain a little bit before the
Yeah.
needle. And then while that is on, he would just play games. He would just like have his switch. He would just play games. And
Oh.
then when it came time to poke, he didn't want to play. He was like, actually, I can't take this away. Now I want to watch people play. That's like I
Gotcha.
can't be actively involved, but I can watch.
Yeah.
And then he was like, okay, I'm not gonna watch the needle. Okay, I'm gonna watch
Yep.
somewhere else. But that just like however you cope with it, right? And
Yeah.
that was how he did it. Playing that game helped him kind of like take his mind off of it for the however long the medicine needed to stay on, right?
Hmm.
Helped kind of like take his mind off of it, not help him not overthink it. And then like when it came time for the procedure, he knew what he needed. He needed to be distracted
Uh-huh.
and watch somebody else play a Kirby game. So
That's pretty
yeah,
cool. It's
yeah, it
good
was.
that again you've been in the scene for so long, and it's that each kid requires a different kind of attention, or a different type of distraction, like you said. Like some
Mhm.
kids need movement. Some kids need like crayons or coloring, and some kids need audio, and some kids need gaming or watching a movie or something like that. And that's something that I feel like in your job, like you're so very in tune with these kids and what they need. Um, I'm hitting that on the head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I feel like I partner with the parents a lot too, because like the parents do know their kid best. I can just like help with that, right?
Hmm.
And so like I as I learn about a kid, if I make a quick assessment, I ask the parent, "Hey, what is our favorite thing?" Or I ask the kid, "Hey, what do you like to do?" my job is to make sure that you know everything that's happening in the hospital, that we make the hospital a little bit better, but also that you are having fun while you're here. So what do
Yeah.
you want to do? What can I get you? You know, like just
Yeah.
like asking them, but then also kind of in the moment because something might like that's how that worked with that for that kid. There are times when the process kind of shifts, right? Something that has worked all of a sudden is not working anymore. And
Hmm.
like how do we so that's a quick it's individualizing that care and knowing that maybe today is just a bad day. And
Happens all the time. We all have
and
bad days, you know? So,
yeah. Yes. And then how can we go about that? And also like my main things are that crying is coping. Just because a kid cries doesn't mean that he or she did a bad job, right?
mhm.
You know, like I cry all the time. Like like
we
it just
we all do.
happens, right?
We all do.
Right. So crying is coping, and then also we have to make sure that the choices are there because I want to have choices. Like, so it's like you said, do you want crayons or do you want Play-Doh? Do you want to game? Do you want to watch a game? Or also, do you want to watch the needle poke or do you not want to watch the needle poke? Do you want to sit by yourself or do you want to sit with mom?
Mhm.
Like, even those little things, and those can change day by day, but there are usually some things that stay constant. But you know, like we have to just like go about it every day and see how it goes. And most most times kids will do great. Um, when they have been prepped, when they know what to expect, and when they have their support system there.
Yeah, and I think that again, you're a great support system for them to have, and you uh again, you've been also doing Extra Life as well.
Yes.
You also participate in Extra Life and for raising funds. Why don't you tell us about that? Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, so I started raising money for Extra Life. So that was in 2024. So I haven't been with Extra Life too long,
Okay.
but I learned about it and I was like, wait, I mean, I love playing games, you know, like why don't I do that? And then because I had already been working with the Children's Miracle Hospital
Hmm.
representatives, like with child life in general. So that was kind of like an easy slide in there. And I became way more involved with the Detroit Extra Life Guild. I went to a few cons with them to kind of just like talk about Extra Life.
That's
And
so cool.
then,
And you're like the first-hand
because,
experience. Like this, like again, this
yes,
information, this interview, and like you going out there and telling everybody about your experience is like the number one because you're there on the front line.
I feel like that has been kind of like one of the big things that I've enjoyed because I love talking about my job anyway. I've yapped for a long time now about it, but then like to talk about it and also encourage people to donate to support those kids because I know how much it matters. I see the impact that all of these dollars have. Like we wouldn't have the crayons or the video games or the Play-Doh if we didn't have these donations. So that is what has been the most amazing for me. Like when I go to cons, when I do my own streams, when I've organized these board game nights at breweries, like that's something that anybody can do. Reach out to your local brewery and say, "Hey, I want to host a charity board game night. Do you mind?" Like, you
They'd be
know,
all about
just
it. They would be all about it.
yeah, yeah. So that has been really cool and I've met some really cool people, some really good people and it's just like how people want to help. Like I want to help these kids, right? But then I am in it every day, but there's all of these people who care and who are so good and who really want to support, who care if kids have a good experience in the hospital, who care that kids are healthy. Like that is overwhelming to me. So I was just like, why would I not want to be a part of an organization like that? Why would I not want to just go full in, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, like, it's so important. And I know it's cliche, but like kids are our future and kids are the most innocent that we have here on earth, right? In terms of humanity, it's they are so innocent and it's most of the time it's not their fault that they're in the hospital, right? Like it's something that just happens and maybe
It's
somebody
this the
got the
most common diagnosis is bad luck, right?
yeah, exactly. And they just get the short end of the stick. And if we can make that scary time for them or their families, sorry, and their families just better. I feel like we have like almost an obligation to do so. Um,
Mhm.
and I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm happy that you're a part of it. And we got to meet so many cool people who are a part of it at Extra Life Unlocked earlier this year. Um, your most of your guild was there, or was any of your guild there?
No, no, none of my guild was there. It was
Okay.
just me. My counterpart was, so I'm one of the guild advisors, and the the other two people who I made who are like the kind of like the main core group. One of it was his game day. His 24-hour game day had been planned for that, and so he couldn't change it. And
No.
and the other girl was helping him with that. So it was just me at
Mm.
Unlocked. Um,
But that's where we got to meet.
and
So, I
we
mean,
did get to meet, and I'm so excited about that. It was like I was sad to not be at his game day, but I was also really excited to be at Unlocked. So it was kind of like a
yeah,
oh no, but
I'm hoping next year that they make Unlocked a different time that's not game day, but we'll see. I put that in my survey. Um,
well, or like I feel like because Timmy was invited, but like wasn't able to come, right?
right.
So it was just kind of like well, I guess we'll see. Maybe I'll plan next year's on a
On
different
a
day.
different day.
That's not
Yeah.
that specific weekend. So.
Yeah, I never do mine on game day just because I want to support everybody else. I really like to see
Hmm.
everybody else be doing theirs. So I kind of do mine away from game day, usually the first weekend
Yeah.
of December when it's freezing to death in this garage area. But I'm still prepping, and that's why things are everywhere. I'm still prepping. Um, but why don't you tell me a little bit about what did you get out of Extra Life Unlocked? Did you learn a lot of stuff there? And obviously we got to meet some kids and some people, but what'd you get?
I, well, again, I feel like it just, most of all, reignited my love for humanity in
Mm-hmm.
general,
Same.
because there's so many people with so many different ideas, so many creative ideas on how to raise money for kids, and they are all putting in their all to do it. So that is just an amazing thing to be a part of in general. Um, I I loved learning all of the different things. Like for me, even professionally from my job, it was cool to see how other hospitals do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like actually, we were in the adaptive game room at the same time,
Yes, we were.
and we were able to play with controllers again for kids who might be only be able to play with one hand or have limited movement in their hands in
Mm-hmm.
general, or maybe they can't move their hands at all and they can only move their head. How can they still play a racing game? How can they
Yeah.
still play? So there's these really cool adaptive gaming controllers that are out, and so we got to try them, and that was really fun.
It was really fun,
And
really engaging, and I'm glad that they showed us like how they even showed us how they're made too, so that they can be
yeah.
cleaned in the hospital, and like
Hmm.
it's really interesting.
Yeah. And so all of that is, you know, those are the things that I kind of like took with me, and I was like, hey, could this be something that we could use at my hospital? And because
Totally.
these are also things that that there's all of these collaborations happening between child life and also patient gaming specialists, um, which is a super cool job that people these are people who work in a hospital and their entire job is to support kids through video games or gaming in general. So um there's a lot of collaboration happening, and so like if there's those kinds of things that are accessible, then could that be something that Extra Life could support
Yeah.
for hospitals, for kids in general, you know? So that was really cool for me. And it was also so fun to see all of these and like come back with these different ideas on how to fundraise for my own as well.
Hmm.
Um, there's people are so creative that
People
it's
people are
just
very creative, and they have a lot of drive. Obviously, like everybody there had so much drive to do the best that they could, and man, there were so many interesting ways for people to fundraise, from D&D and cards, and like there was this one person who did movies, and they do like fundraising through movies and stuff. I think it was so interesting, and
yeah.
it was just
So it's
so
just
awesome
like
to see that.
sharing, collaborating, that's what this is all about. It's bringing it's like expanding the community, but then also like bringing the community together,
Hmm.
right? And how can we build those relationships, because that's what we have in this life and that's what makes it all worth it, right? Like and that's what helps in the end helps these
100%.
kids. And
Absolutely.
so that was just it was energizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's the word I would use too. It definitely energized me to make this year as big and as epic as humanly possible. And again, I wouldn't have been able to meet Catalina without without Extra Life Unlocked. So I just want to say a quick thank you to everybody at Extra Life for inviting us out there and getting us acquainted. Um
Thank you,
all right.
thank you.
Last thing. We are over time, but it's okay. Who cares?
Sorry.
I
I was
no,
yapping.
no. This is perfect. This is great information. But I would like you to, if you want to talk about anything, or if you want to say anything to viewers at home, or if you want to communicate anything, and obviously at the end, hit us with some shout outs and plug yourself. I would like you to plug your channel. Um, take it away. The floor is yours.
I am incredibly grateful for each and every person who donates any amount of money towards Extra Life. All of the money that you are donating supports your local children's hospital and helps those kids directly, and they cannot do it, and the hospital cannot do it, and the kids and the families can't like really do it without you. And we can't do it without you is what I think I should say. We
100%.
cannot do it without you. And that is whenever I see the numbers for the donations, I get overwhelmed. I was in the stream when when somebody donated $1,000 and put you over your $10,000 goal.
Yep, we're over 10,000 currently
I
going in. Yep. It's
I
crazy.
I was floored. So I am, but it doesn't matter whether it's $1,000 or whether it's $1. Every single amount counts,
Absolutely.
and it goes such a long way. So I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. The community is everything, and you are making more of a difference than you know. So thank you.
I
I so
fully
appreciate
agree,
you.
and I fully support that. Every single dollar, every single second you spend here or promoting or whatever, like you don't have to do monetary value either. It's like there's so many people who gave prizes for this stream, for this charity stream. There are so many people who support by sharing different streamers who are doing charity work. Like, it doesn't have to be monetary. There's so much more you can do. You can help out in your local community too. Start fundraising yourself. Do it.
It is,
Um,
and you'll meet so many cool people.
exactly. I mean, there's so many cool people out. I mean, look at this person. Like that, they are so cool. Think about all the work that they do. But yeah, seriously, like everything counts. Like every single thing
Yeah,
counts. Don't think it doesn't. Um, every dollar goes the longer than you possibly know. So, um, but
thank
yeah.
you.
All right.
And shameless plug, my Instagram is Nina Plays Games, and my Twitch is This is NinaLina. I have been playing Silk Song. That's what I have been doing.
And it's hard watching you play Silk Song. It's tough because that game is hard, so tough. Those tears were real. Those were
The tears
real
were real
tears.
though.
They
The
were real
tears were
tears.
real. I said I cry a lot. I cry a lot.
It was an intense moment watching you finish Silk Song, like 100%. It was such a relieving. I could see the relief from finishing that final boss. So that was
It
incredible.
was, I mean, not quite at 100 yet, but it was the final boss because
Yeah,
I'm missing some things over there, so I need to beat that again. But
you'll come back to
but
it.
I'll come back to it. But yeah,
Well,
thank you so much for having me. I
of course.
appreciate it.
Of course, I'll probably have you back either next year or the year after for another interview. You are welcome to come here to California for the stream anytime. Um,
You know what? Don't tempt me. Like I might, like I love California. I might just come.
you're welcome. Stop on by either this year, next year, whatever. You're welcome anytime. But thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
time, Carolina. I really, really appreciate you and speaking with us today. It again, the information is so important to put out there. When I first started streaming and when I first started Extra Life, I didn't know anybody from the hospital, never been in the hospital, but I just felt like it was a good thing to do. But now that I know so much more from talking to people like you and talking to like people like Leonella from my local children's hospital, um, it's just so much more context about what good we are doing and what we can do together. And I just want to thank you so much, so very much.
I'm so look at what you've done and you're like what you have done throughout all of these years of fundraising. It means so much to all of these kids. It means so much to your local hospital and you are changing lives. So, and all of your supporters are directly changing lives. So,
We're doing it
I
together. We're doing it
yeah,
together. It ain't a one man show. It's going to be all together. You're going to see there's going to be like 15 people here and
I'm
probably
so
100 of
excited.
you at home. Like, I just, it's amazing. And I'm so glad that we get to do this together. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Um, I'm going to throw us back to a show. And I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of what we have in store, unless this is playing at the very end, because this will also be played at the very end. But you know, we'll have more stuff in store. But thank you, everybody. I hope that you all have a great time, and we'll catch you in the stream.